Hey everyone, I am Mike of Mike Test Play, and welcome back to Pokemon Colosseum. Last time we got down here to the Under and bought Hidden Power. And this time we're going to find out what it is, because we're out of here for a little while. Now, like I said last time, we're going to be going over how to figure out what Hidden Power type your Pokemon have. We've got 3 Pokemon we're trying to discover: Pearls, Mr. Ray, and Beyblade. We're hoping for very different types for all 3 of these, and we'll kind of go over them as we go. But too bad for you, this elevator is off limits. Pyrite Building is the best place in the game to test out hidden powers. Why? All of the trainers have different types. And you can knock out things very quickly. Now, I've actually written out the 16 types that it can be with all 3 of my party members that I'm looking for. We know, of course, that Shine the Espeon already has a fire type one. So with these 2, we're hoping for special attacks. Special attacks would be water, electric, grass, psychic, fire, ice, dragon, or dark. Dark is not a type that would be helpful for us at all, and certain other of those types wouldn't be all that helpful either. But just use Hidden Power. Phanpy is a ground type. So we're going to see. What does Hidden Power do to it? Neutral damage. And low. That's not great. Again, neutral damage and low. Still not great. We're looking unlucky here so far. So, neutral damage on Phanpy knocks out a bunch of types already. We can already remove everything that is either super effective against ground, not very effective against ground, or completely ineffective against ground. So let's see. I always do, for typing, I always do the order of gyms for the first 2 generations. If you just go through the 16 gyms, take out normal, add dark, then you have the hidden power types. So we've already knocked out the first 5 for both of these. Rock, water, electric, grass, poison are all either super effective against, not very effective against, or completely immune against ground types. We have also knocked out, let's see, ice. Because ice is also super effective against ground. Everything else is still in the running at this point. But I'm actually erasing for both Mantine and my Pearls and Mr. Ray. I wrote the notes before I actually did the nicknaming contest. So now, the Brava is a dragon type. We already know that it's not ice type. We already know that it's not most of the types that could be determined by dragon, but we haven't knocked out dragon itself yet. So if this is super effective, critical hit, still pretty bad damage for a crit. Makes ground moves miss with levitate. There was the other option. Mantine has ground. It can be that fast. Makes ground moves miss with levitate. That is terrible for Mantine. So Mantine will be sticking with, well, we'll see. But Mantine will not be sticking with Hidden Power. Let's just put it that way. Might as well switch out. Because we want to test Blaze move against both of them as well. And we'll just, blue is fine. That was a super, super quick one. You can find it out that quickly. If a Pokemon's only weak to one type, if it had been super effective there, the only difference between ground and dragon ground in super effective moves is dragon. So it would have been that easy too. So, you kind of want to figure things out that way, I guess. Ground, useless. So Mr. Ray will not be using it. So Mr. Ray will keep Wing Attack as a just stab move, basically. And it wasn't very high powered either, so, useful there. And now we're going to just do the same thing. Bay is faster than Blue. We'll use Hidden Power, and just in case Quick Claw kicks in, let's see what we got here. Super effective, and did barely any damage. That's bad. So, we got bad hidden powers on all 3. That's fine. We can remove Rock, we can remove Electric, We can actually remove everything because ground only has 3 weaknesses. And those weaknesses are water, grass, and ice. And now we're going to find out, well, if it's ice, basically. Super effective. Ice. Hitmontop has hidden... Beyblade has hidden power ice. That quick. Man, I wasn't hoping they'd be that quick on both. But, you know, whatever. If those were reversed, it'd actually be pretty great. If Mantine had ice, it'd be useful until we pick up Ice Beam later. If you know, if Bey had Ground, it's, you know, useful until Earthquake. Yikes. What we were hoping for was a good physical coverage move for Bey. Best physical coverage is Rock. It just always is. Hidden Power is the only way to get Rock-type coverage that's a Rock-type move that's 100% accurate, except for Ancient Power, which I don't believe is available on anybody. And so that was kind of a disaster, honestly. But we still have to figure out what Pearls is. So, you know, we were hoping for... Rock would have been the ideal on Bey. But, you know, other things that could have been useful. Bug, if it had decent power, would be pretty good. You know, gosh, Poison could be interesting. Flying would have been awesome. Because Mr. Ray's, you know, he's got flying coverage, but it's not all that great. For Mr. Ray, we were hoping for, you know... Grass would have been the ideal. That was kind of the ideal for both Mr. Ray and Pearls. It's basically just special attacks we didn't have yet, or aren't planning on having. Ice could always be useful. Dragon has its uses. It's neutral against a lot of stuff. Another Fire wouldn't have been bad for either one of them. You know, it's basically just the moves that we didn't have. So we don't seem to have gotten that, but Pearls could still have a useful physical attack. Because I think it is physical, because Special would have done more damage to the Fanfy. What do you think you're doing here? So we've still got quite a few options for what it could be for Pearls here. So we'll keep trying to figure it out, basically. Now, another good thing to do is... Oh, by the way, the trainers in Pyrite Building have upgraded. That's the other thing we're doing here. We're not just figuring out hidden powers, which 2 in 1 battle is crazy. But we are also... you know, able to test the strength of them. And, you know, why have these trainers upgraded? We're just going to use Hidden Power, because it's... We know that Shines is Hidden Power Fire with max power. Doesn't do all that much, because Noctowl is great special defensively, but that kind of gives us a... You know, a look at how a decent Hidden Power works there. Neutral damage. Pretty strong, though. So still probably a physical move, but that removes Ground, which, oh, we already had removed Ground. That removes Bug and Ghost, because it's neutral against a normal flying type. Doesn't really remove a whole lot else, actually. So, yeah, we've still got the possibilities for Psychic, Fire, Flying, Fighting, Steel, Dragon, or Dark. Not bad. Mischievous might still work out. But there's no more helpful information to be gleaned from this particular battle. Gosh, I can't believe we figured it out that fast. Oh, man, really? You know what, Pearls, your attacking would be kind of helpless here, so we're just going to stop you from getting KO'd. Yeah, wow. So yeah, when you're looking for hidden powers, basically, you're looking for moves that are coverage moves that you don't have yet on your party. That is the main goal, I guess. Hidden Power is a move that can be learned by every Pokemon, and it can be anything for any Pokemon. So if you've got a physical attacker who just could use a nice physical attack, again, Rock is usually the best one there, but, you know, maybe you needed Flying, maybe you needed Fighting. You know, there's a lot of moves that can be super helpful with Hidden Power. Sometimes it's useless. A lot of the times it's useless, honestly, more often than not. But, you know, you can have good ones. And, you know, it can be a little weird, but, you know, it can be very useful. So I recommend it for any Pokemon whose moveset isn't set in stone. It's probably going to be, at the very least, it's something. Even if it's usually kind of useless. But, you know, I can't believe ground on Mr. Ray and ice on Beyblade is just terrible. Because neither one of them can use it. You know, not a physical attacker, not a special attacker. But hey, Shines is good. And, you know, my pearls, we have no idea what it is yet. There's still a lot of options left. So we're still knocking them out. And we're going to knock out a few here, I tell you that right now. All right. We want to test it on Carvanha first. We're going to knock out a lot of options here. Okay, Hidden Power on Carvanha, and we're just going to set up a Reflect and not KO anything. While we try to figure this out more. Hidden Power. Okay, it works, so that takes out Psychic. Super effective! One-hitting a Carvanha isn't all that effective, but we have now removed Flying, Fire, Psychic... It's fighting. Okay, so we kind of struck out. Fighting is not coverage that we need. Fighting is a physical move. It seems to be okay power-wise. And we'll continue to test that, kind of. But, wow, figured them all out by the third trainer. The Pokemon trainers here just have so many type varieties. You know, the first one, just a levitating ground dragon type can knock out a ton of types for you, depending on if they do damage, basically. And, you know, a dark type can knock out Psychic immediately if it doesn't affect it. Rock Ground, Pupitar. There's a ton of types that could be useful there. I'm using Hidden Power to show, even though it's not very effective. Oh no, it didn't know all that much damage. It should be super strong, but it was not very effective. I'm going to find something that's weak to fire. Alright, Pupitar is good defense, so it's not terrible power. I don't know. It's interesting because we're just going to knock it out now. Because, you know, you never know what you're going to get. It could be like it is here. None of these three will be keeping Hidden Power. It's just going to be Shine. None of them are types that are useful, that are things we needed. But, you know, you never know. In my test team, which I'll talk a little bit about now. In my test team, I was going through... I used a team of 6 Pokemon, 5 of which we have seen by now. It was Espeon and Umbreon. I just can't play without them. Espeon, Umbreon, Ampharos was a team member, Entei was a team member, and then one we haven't seen yet, which I won't reveal yet. The one we haven't seen yet had a low strength Hidden Power Ground, which was not all that helpful, but actually stuck around just because didn't need anything else, really. And then... I also used it on Espeon, Ampharos, and Entei. All 3 of them came back Grass type with strong power. It was remarkable. I've never had 3 Pokemon, and here's where we'll show Hidden Power. Super effective against a Steel type. And 1 Titan set. So, you know, that's why Fire is so helpful for an Espeon. Because, you know... Steel is a type that usually walls a Psychic type. So, you know, being able to hit it super effectively with great power is very useful. Alright, fine. Confuse me. Whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of confirm that yes, it is Fire. Not very effective against Rock Ground, yet super effective against Steel. That can only be Fire. So, useful. But yeah, all 3 of them had Hidden Power Grass, which is crazy, and all usable power, too. Like, and the craziest part about that was that for all three, Grass is actually very useful. Grass is a useful offensive type. It doesn't hit all that much for super effective, but what it does hit is useful. And for an electric type, hitting ground for super effective damage, awesome. For a, fire type, hitting water, ground, rock for super effective damage, awesome. For Espeon, funnily enough, Hidden Power Grass is the preferred hidden power for a speed run, because it lets Espeon hit a lot of things for super effective damage, even if it's just a few things for super effective damage that ordinarily it wouldn't. It's very useful. So I laughed when I realized that was the hidden power type for Espeon, because I was like, wow, I actually got it. And it was strong, too. It was I used all three. The really funny part, though, is that the fifth member of that team, it was actually the third member of that team, Meganium. So I already had grass coverage, and yet all three of them still kept it, because, it was still useful. So it was just super weird. And then this time, figuring out all three of them, I expected to have to go into, like, this trainer, or maybe the next one. Like, if you're trying to find... Well, if you're trying to find electric, the ground types would do it. But, if you are trying to find grass, this would be a helpful time. The neutral on Wingull and super effective against Wooper. There's a lot of different options for how a hidden power test can come out. And, we figured all three of ours out very quickly. Which is a little bit strange, but, figuring it out by the third battle isn't uncommon, I guess. Because, you can just knock off things very quickly. If it's super effective against the Fanfy, but not against the Vibrava, it's water or grass. And then by the second trainer, use it on the the second trainer. Use it on the flying type. And if it's neutral, you got water. It's very easy like that. If it's super effective against the Vibrava, but not the Fanfy, Dragon, easy. There are a lot of possibilities there. There's a lot of ways that you can narrow things down. I kind of wish we had a tougher one so I could have shown that off. But whatever. We figured it out. Figured them out quickly. And got bad ones for all three. Just kind of bad luck there. But, you can't control it. It's not something, once a Pokemon is snagged, its hidden power is locked. Its stats are locked. Its nature is locked. There's no way to determine what that is. Even calculators online, they might be able to tell you, sort of, but unless you know exactly their IVs, or their EVs gained, exactly their natures, you're not going to know for sure. It might give you a range. It might be able to tell you, oh, well, it should be one of these three types or something. And you can determine it from there. But, there's no way to predict it exactly before it's locked in. So, unless you're going to snag something, then wait all the way until you can get it and then save after the fact. Like, it'd be a mess, basically. And, hey, Shine leveled up. Excellent. I really hope you guys can't hear the yard work that my complex is doing in the background. They usually don't do it at times when I choose to record, but I'm hoping it doesn't get picked up on the mic because it's loud in my head. Anywho, so now the question becomes, why have the trainers in Pyrite Building upgraded? They're stronger than they were. Interesting. It's unlikely that you'd have gotten to this point without figuring out the hidden powers, but I'm still just bummed that I got nothing. I was hoping for 1 out of 3 would be great. Like, just add grass coverage on my Pearls or Mr. Ray, or add, yeah, let's do this. Or add, electric coverage on Mr. Ray or something, or dragon move somewhere to hit any potential. I mean, Kingdra. But or just strong power. My Pearls has seemingly decent power fighting move, but got fighting covered. My Pearls will probably just keep Confuse Ray over it. when learning the move that my pearls will eventually learn. We didn't need all that much coverage. There wasn't a whole lot because we're going to be picking up electric and also ice later on. But still, it would have been like flying on Bay or rock on Bay or heck, bug. There were options that were just like moves that I don't have that would have been just very nice to kind of add to the party. But we didn't get lucky, so oh well. We've got shines. Fire is still great. I've been counting on that, so cool. This is actually, funnily enough, this is the third time that I have used specifically a Hitmontop in this game. I don't remember all the others, but I remember the times of Hitmontop use specifically because of hidden powers. The first time I used a Hitmontop, I got a hidden power Fire, which had like decent power, but I had no other fire coverage on that particular team, and Hitmontop actually kept it because it kept like being useful in very specific situations where I just needed to hit like a grass type or deal little damage. It can be hidden power if you do get a bad one, but the Pokemon still doesn't have anything else to use. It can still be useful for snagging. It's just a super versatile move. By definition, it is the most versatile move in the game. Can be any type but normal, which is the type it lists as, which I think is just fun. Excellent. Shade hits level 39 here. Good. We're picking up some levels. We need some levels. It's helpful. So let's see. The episode's kind of going on a long time. We've already figured out all the hidden powers. Yeah, we'll put up Mr. Ray in blue. The other one's still at 38. We'll do another battle or two. But the second time I used a Hitmontop, it was Modest Nature, which is plus special attack minus attack, which is just objectively terrible for a physical attacker. It's even worse than the bold that Beyblade is now, because it didn't even help a useful stat. But the hidden power type was rock. Not just rock, like super strong rock type. It was crazy. I got the best possible hidden power type on the worst nature for a Hitmontop. I was like, really? Come on! So I was hoping that this time with again, a poor nature, I was like, alright, but if it gives me rock or flying, like, maybe bug, like, it'd still be super helpful. So, I had my hopes up. They were crushed, but I had them up. You know what? Let's use your hidden power. Let's actually test the ground power versus. Who am I kidding? Mr. A's not gonna keep a weak physical attack that I already have covered, literally by blue, sitting in the battle. Yeah, that is just nothing in terms of damage. And it's not like I can even fully test it against Wing Attack, because Wing Attack after Stab is 90 base power, which is stronger than it could ever be. So, what? Blue! Quick Claw, kick it in. Nice. Alright, let's see. Does Wing Attack finish off the Celio? Super bulky water type. Exactly what I needed when battling with my two water types on the field. Yeah, alright, it's down. Okay. I'm just bummed. Because I was so excited to, to get to use, like, various hidden powers. I figured I have 3 shots. 1 out of 3's gotta be useful. Nope. Closest I got was fighting on a Mischievous. Oh well. There's nothing in there. I don't know why I'm going in these doors. Alright, there's only 2 trainers left here. Come on, can dance with elegance, even in a dump like this. I'll just battle these 2, and then that'll be the end of the episode. I really did think that it would take me longer to figure it out, but, that's why I do write it down. That's why I think it's I do think it is very helpful to write down what the... Of course, this is a terrible matchup for these two. I knew that, too. I didn't even... Whatever. Yeah, this is, like, terrible enough that I'm going to switch out blue here. Ooh, and Shine would be the ideal swap in here. The pearls. Sure, why not? But... I don't know. 1 and 3, I thought, we'll get one of them. Nope. Oh well. Nothing you can do about it at a certain point. So yeah, so far I've gotten terrible luck with natures. And now bad luck with hidden power. And we've been getting bad snag luck all along. This run is going great. I mean, our team is still super duper strong, so we're not like struggling, but yikes. So many battles could have been over so much more quickly if we just had decent natures. Like my pearls is arguably the best nature of the 4, and it still cuts speed, which is one of the most important things for one of the most important stats for a Mischievous is speed, and minus speed is one of the best ones we've got. It's just funny. It just really is. Yeah, you keep surfing after your dragon dance. Good job. Oh, it's just, ow! Critical hits! Ah! At least this is one hit, right? Oh! Because it's bubble beam, like, you know, like it's singing with the bubbles as they go. I don't know. I think it fits. I think it's good. I think we're switching out my pearls to... You know what? Blue, if he's gonna surf, we're gonna take advantage. She, it's a female trainer on the battlefield, like sitting right there. My brain broke a little bit. It's okay. I'm like, nice little water absorb kicking in there. I'm just like upset because, come on, none of them could be a good nature. None of them, really? Oh well. Oh well. I'm gonna knock out one more trainer and then call this an episode. And this is the end of a week, so you know, it's good. It's all good. Everything is all good. Alright, please have a team that is weak against water, because I do not remember what you have. That is not weak against water. That is, in fact, strong against water. Although Tentacool is weak to ground, so we're going to take advantage of that. Haha! And also, we have wing attack. So, you know. Yeah. Aha! Unnecessary. Okay, that was strong enough. And then, of course, hopefully the Cacnea doesn't just one-hit blue here, because that would be bad. I probably should have used Hidden Power Ground against it. Now that I think about it. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Cacnea goes down. And yeah. Last trainer of Pyrite Building. That's gonna do it for this part. We did do the Hidden Power Discovery. We've got fighting on my Pearls, ground on Mr. Ray, and ice on Bay. Not great. But, you know, at least now we know. This guy, however, is also able to be rebattled. And we still haven't figured out why the Pyrite Building has upgraded. Why they're still, you know, auto-battling. So, I think next time we will we'll keep diving into this mystery. Because, oh yeah, it's worth it. See you guys then.